everybody, welcome back to COVID-19, the opportunities you didn't think of. I am your host, Kasey Wallace, and on today's show is somebody I'm very excited to present to you, although I don't feel that he's a new presentation. Aaron Pyne has his own show on Xpnsion Network as well, so we're going to direct you to that after this conversation. But Aaron brings magical enchantment energy to the forefront in the third dimensional paradigm in ways that I have never encountered. He is a transformational energy provider that helps us to know aspects of our own self that many people have never ever even pondered for their own selves. Aaron offers energy healing, but more than that, he is that transformational leader in consciousness and enlightenment and awareness across the planet right now. And his approach to things, though to some may seem fairly unorthodox, once you get into his energy, you find yourself entangled and entwined in this possibility resource. Coming out of sessions and experiences with Aaron, you are elevated and expanded into a place of knowing yourself and the consciousness field around you like no other. I am a personal fan of Aaron. He has done energy and transformational work on me personally, and I have to credit him to some of the new elevated gifts of my own perceptions, my own intuitive gifts as a channel to Aaron. So with honor and love and appreciation, I am here to present Aaron Pyne to you as we get into this conversation, this very deep and yet magically lighthearted conversation on what's going on now and all the opportunities that it's providing for us. So Aaron, with my love and gratitude, thanks so much for being.
Thank you so much. That warms my heart. Calls all my magic in. I appreciate that so much. Such an honor to be here today and share this magic.
So, Aaron, let's start. Aaron's in New Zealand right now. Due to the fortunate circumstance of COVID, Aaron is able to spend more time with the love of his life, which normally would have pulled him back towards the U.S. on a traditional visa passport timeline. And so I've jokingly said beforehand, I think he actually manifested this whole thing so that he and Sia could spend more time together. So he's in his own enchanted kingdom. And Aaron,
I'm gonna have a part in it.
Yeah. So Aaron, let's get into this conversation. Of course, we know we're leading into these conversations about this extraordinary energy.
Yeah.
But for many of the viewers out there who live a little bit more of a traditional third dimensional grounded life, there are still many fears and anxieties wrapped around and uncertainties wrapped around what's going on, and we really want to get them into that special place. So I'm going to let you just unleash yourself and have a chat as if everybody's sitting here in the audience for you to transform.
Right. Well, I invite everyone, to come in, especially if you are in that fear and that anxiety unknown, come into your breath and come into your heart and just bring your attention to your heart center and know that this experience that we're going through in a global scale is actually a gift to your heart. And no matter what's going on, I know there can be a lot of fear and unknown, uncertainties and challenges right now for many people. The more you can bring your focus to your heart and that you're receiving a gift, the more you can navigate these challenges. And for years, I've studied business and entrepreneurship and some of these big successful people, and all of them hold the mindset that whenever a challenge arises, that it's an opportunity, for them to grow and expand and learn. And so this same thing happening on a much larger scale. It's business and so much more. And the more we can shift to that and hold that in our heart and come back to that this is a gift. And I see this, what I've been getting, both in my own life and what I've been receiving and what I'm seeing on an intuitive global scale, the magic levels, is that this is one of the greatest gifts ever given to humanity. And the more we can attune to that and receive it, if somebody gives you a great present, you can either take it and play with it and explore what that present is, or you can no, I don't want it. And then you don't get to receive the benefits. But if you take that present and allow yourself to explore it and allow it to transform you, then it can start to ripple out into every area of your life and you'll see the new possibilities. And what I've been seeing is this, right? Humanity has sort of been in a golden cage or a golden crib that's kept us safe, like all the past systems that we've been used to and have been living on, both financially and health-wise, and all the systems, right? That crib has just been taken away from humanity. That golden cage has just been opened up. And now we have this whole new unknown possibilities before us, which actually allows us to access the potentiality of magic and miracles in our life, because we're no longer restrained within the old systems, right? It's sort of the Wild West. It's like everything's open now. The crib's gone, the cage is gone. We're pushed out of the nest. The training wheels have been taken off. And now, yeah, at first, like, it's a little like, whoa, what is going on? This is new. This is unknown. It was very, very sudden, right? But now we have the opportunity. We might fall. We might fall on the bike, but we can get back up. And we now have the opportunity to soar. And from this more unknown plateau, right, all these structures are falling. Even we're talking about my daughter, right? The teachers are scrambling to create a new system. The financial systems are scrambling to create a new format. People are scrambling to create a new work opportunities. It's taking away all this security and allowing us, enforcing us and encouraging us to really tune in and shift in how we work, how we live, how we explore, how we connect, and what we bring into the world. And so for those of us who can continue to bring our focus and our awareness, and there's going to be moments and waves of fear, uncertainty, unknown, if we can breathe through that, allow that to move through us, and then come back to our center, keep coming back, harness that fear, harness that unknown, harness that uncertainty, be with it, and draw it forth as magical energy, as mana, into your heart of like, okay, yep, things are unknown, and that's amazing right now. Like, let's just enjoy this unknown miracle and possibilities and draw it into our heart. And from our heart, let that infuse our soul into our life and all that we are, and pushing us to use aspects of ourselves. You mentioned now I draw on these aspects of people that they don't know. And this is doing this. And maybe I did help participate in this creation of this for this purpose. It's like, all right, guys, like, I know you've been playing the just like human game and just being a normal human and doing the human things. And that's great. That was fun. But, kind of time's up. Let's play a new game here. And this is the invitation for us to play a new game at a new level. If you played like the video games, right, you have to level up and things get a little more crazy and more intense, but more exciting too. And there's more opportunity for growth and more magic and more possibilities, like I said. So this is inviting us into that next level that some of us have been training for, and some of us maybe haven't been training for as much in that, but we're all getting pushed up to the next level together. Right. And
I have, for those of you watching this program and have seen me on some of the other programs, you may know this or you may not know this, but I also have a Parrot Sanctuary here on my property. We currently have about 45 parrots here on the sanctuary. And we try to provide the most natural environment for these birds that are in the emotional state of needing to feel more fully flighted and more free flowing for themselves. And then we have a few parrots that have been companion birds to humans and rely on humans for that interaction in their whole life. And so about 6 of those are personal companion birds for my own self, and we work with, again, providing them that enrichment. But where I'm going is the gilded cage phenomenon. When we bring birds into the sanctuary and we open that cage for them to come out, and some of them are like, yeah! I mean, they leap out of that cage and they're singing, and others are like, oh my God, I don't want to leave the safety of my cage. That door is wide open, and we're like, come on. And all the other birds are flying around them, and they're like, oh my God. I mean, you can just tell, should I do it? Should I not do it? And of course, we allow them to take their time. We just leave the cage in the aviary or whatever. And when they come out, there's this energy, Aaron. It's amazing to watch this. Amazing. Now, a few of them will re-enter the cage back, then come back out, kind of go in and out. But for the most part, they're like, screw that cage, man. And that's what I'm feeling as you're talking about this. It's like the cage is open.
Right. Take your time.
And those of us who are eager, we're like, we've been waiting for this cage to be open. Yeah. And the others are like, but what about my food and my water? And am I going to get food and water? Like, am I going to be taken care of? I think one of the components that we talk about is we support and we honor and support everybody else's opinion on this as well, but Joyce's opinion is there are two primary forces of fear for human beings. One is death, and one is how powerful you are. And this right now is addressing both of those, right?
Yeah.
Am I going to be okay? That's that death thing. I'm afraid of death, like it's a, if that's the end for us. And what could I possibly be now? That's that fear of empowerment. So this is addressing both of those. It's like, let's just wipe those off the table and go, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's the opportunity for us to overcome that fear of death and know that, all right, even if I get sick, even if I do die, that there is, the game's not over here. There's endless things beyond this that are still available to us. And so once you can acknowledge that and accept that and allow that, then that gives you that first, all right, I'm ready to go out the door here. I'm ready to go out the cage. And then you get to experience your own power, and you get to experience your own power and the power of the universe that is there to constantly provide everything and more than you can even imagine. I mean, even like we're talking about, I got here and these things happen. It's like, this is beyond what I could have even envisioned. I look back to people doing vision boards and oh, I want this and this. It's like things are happening to me that are beyond what I would have consciously thought of to put on there. This is amazing. And wait, it's getting more amazing day to day. Right. So the more I can surrender, it's surrender. There's the active principle. Okay, these are things I'd like to create, and I want to build these things and do that sort of stuff that's fun for me and enjoyable. And I see the value of it for myself and others. And it's also surrendering, okay, this is what's happening now. Okay, I just got this email that my visa is extended till September 20. Great. Just riding that wave, surrendering, and these things will start happening to you. And it's self-empowerment and also empowerment in the connectivity of the universe, of the other dimensions of life that are here to flow into you and work with you and guide you and provide for you. And I know, like you said, this, you feel like the team of Julius and all these other beings around you. And I'm feeling that more and more. And I posted something on my account the other day. It's we're being isolated as our human selves to just our little family unit. But I feel like the connection, the quarantine on humanity to the other realms is going away, is dissolving. So it's we're isolated from each other, but now these other realms are oh, finally we can come in and talk to humanity again. They're finally ready at this point where they can start to receive our support and our guidance at a whole nother level, a whole nother scale. So I'm feeling, and I'm seeing, and when I'm doing work with people, these other dimensions so much more vivid. I mean, I've been tuned into them for years, and I know you're feeling this too, how much more their energy, their vibration, their power, their wisdom can come in to us and into this world. And so it's that. It's funny. It's this ironic. We're in quarantine, yet the bigger quarantine that's been going on for eons is dissolving.
I totally agree. Okay, everybody, sorry about that. We had a little bit of a pause as we link segments together. The energy's getting pretty high in this interview. Of course it is. And we're going to get back to the subject matter of that gilded cage phenomenon. Thank you for opening the door. You can tell I'm kind of sweating on camera. And being the bird, we've been the birds in the gilded cages, whether we're taking the position of being afraid to come out of the cage or eagerly freeing ourselves up from the cage with no fears, no concerns. Maybe somewhere a little in between, there's a curiosity and an excitement as to what's out there, yet we've got these embedded and encoded fears from being human and being comfortably programmed by the systems in our world. And what, it's just like somebody being held captive as a prisoner for so long, they become reliant on their captor for who they are and what they are, and then it's a total reprogramming of everybody coming free from there. So Aaron, I know we're talking more about that.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there, right? So everyone's reestablishing themselves back into their divine mastery. And so, we've been caged, we've been restricted, we've been playing a role, each of us in our own way of this little boxed being. And that's stripping away the barriers and the restrictions. And now the full divine codex of who we are is more available to humanity more than ever. And so as we come out of that cage, it's not only coming out of the cage, but it's also coming back into the ability to reconnect with all that we are and draw from that into this world, into our human experience. And it takes that courage. It takes that strength of heart and that trust and ourselves and the universe, and to trust that we are alive. We are these 10 trillion plus cell, amazingly designed bodies that have been perfectly designed to navigate this world. There's so much intelligence here within us and around us. And as we accept that and breathe into that and breathe into our bodies and come into these bodies and trust that these bodies are a miracle in themselves, and intelligence that's brought these bodies to us through eons of evolution, of creation, whether it's divine creation and evolution simultaneously merged, have brought us to these bodies that can navigate this world with such mastery that that humanity's forgotten. And now is our opportunity to fully experience the divine exquisiteness of these bodies and what they're capable of, combined with our spiritual capacity, and bring that into the world with the fullness of our heart and the fullness of our intelligence, the fullness of our wisdom and our compassion into the world, and use what's happening in the world, the fear, the uncertainty, the unknown, as inspiration, as ignition, as fuel to bring more compassion, to bring more assistance to others. And as we do that, as we can see where our particular gifts can support others to realize their gifts, we find the joy and the value and the excitement and the upliftment that will flow through us like the biggest surfing wave we've ever gotten to surf into this world, right? To bring that, all of it into the world.
I think as a lot of practitioners, we're really going to experience, instead of ever being drained from what we do, it's really going to fuel us. You know, we used to be a little bit precautionary if we were healers or intuits or empaths about the company that we would keep or the clients that we would see, because you could have these draining components and we'd have to really spend time in realignment. I think that's massively amplified now, and it's like, just bring it on. I am ready to
ready
performance. I'd love to get back to what we were saying. I'm not sure if we got this on camera, but I want to make sure we do. You made a profound statement about the clarity of how we are in quarantine, how that's opened up the quarantine of other things. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So that, right, humanity, right, we're in this isolation. We've got to be at home. We can only go out so much, right? But never before has the quarantine of humanity to the many other dimensions that exist around us, that have been watching us, that are supporting us. That quarantine is dissolving like I've never seen before. And all these other dimensions, whether they're more galactic, angelic, or beings within the earth and fields, the trees, the plants, the nature spirits, all the realms, and I talk about this a lot in my work, right? The tree of life and all the realms are now available more so than ever for humanity to reconnect with. And from that comes the support and the love and the guidance and the wisdom we actually need to help navigate this experience we find ourselves in. And so those of you that are able to tune in or have done the training to start realizing that, or if you haven't, you may start experiencing them coming in more and more. They're like, they are so freaking excited to be here and to play with us and to help us, like kids, like going to a party. They're like, yes, we could go in there and help them out, right?
Kegger!
Right. Human kegger. Yeah, like college kids at a frat party, right? They're like ready to go in to this wildness of Earth. And that quarantine's coming down. And so we have the availability, and whatever that is, some of us, it's we can see them, we can hear them, they can flow through us, they come to us in dreams, all the above, they're coming through, and they're here to assist us. And this experience is forcing us to reconnect with them, because it's such a new unknown for all of us. So it's like we need this additional support and backup to help us navigate this. And why not have this whole party that's available to us? And with that too, and I've been feeling this, right, and even like navigating my life, I've always been sort of a hermit. Even as a child, I was actually this morning having these memories as a child of just like being by myself, playing by myself, and there's a joy there, but also like, oh, I wish there was other people I could relate to. And now I'm seeing like, oh, we're all in isolation. Everyone's feeling that loneliness in some level, I'm sure, and yet there's more of these beings available to connect with us at a deeper, more almost physicalized way than ever before. And so we're experiencing this contrast of aloneness and also the biggest potential connectivity that we've ever experienced with so much of life around us.
The energy is up so high. Again, I'm going to...
Hearing my
Brad's hearing light language because you're on the camera.
Yeah, I know. It's coming. It's coming.
So for my own self, I can only speak for my own self. One of the things of being a practitioner, one of the things that has driven me crazy for the longest time is I could never get a singing bowl to sing for me. I love singing bowls. Right? And everybody'd be like, man, you're Julius, and I'm like, I'm over here going, they just don't like me. And I would try, and it would just be like thunk, thunk. I just couldn't get them to move. Just recently at a retreat, some of the students brought these gorgeous crystal bowls, and man, I just started doing, and they were singing. There it was, just coming out. The other instrument I was talking to you about, and the other day we just had a couple of guests here on the property, and I've never been a pendulum person. Don't even really in my human component understand the premise behind it. And he handed me this pendulum, and this thing started spinning. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing? And he's like, holy crap, I can just barely get, and of course I'm asking it questions, and it's swinging all over the place. And what I was realizing was that veil of doubt, or what the thin veil that separates us from all that we are, man, that's getting either cleaned off or it's dropping away. And like you said, just feeling the enchanted kingdom, Garden of Eden phenomenon.
Yes.
If we allow ourselves to just close our eyes and let that imagination unleash itself. It's that, the movie Avatar thing going on where everything is alive. There isn't anything seemingly dead or insignificant around us.
Right.
Forced to it.
Yeah. That's it. The veil's coming down. The blinders are coming off. The chains are coming off at such a rapid rate. So we're getting to reconnect with, I love that, the Garden of Eden, the paradise, the magical kingdoms that are around us. And I'm just going to go for it here. The other realms are so excited for this to come back and play with this again. They've been watching us and enjoying the game we've been playing, and yet they're ready to receive us and for us to receive them back into our hearts. And the paradise and the life force and the magic and the miracles that we can harness within ourselves because of the mastery that we are, and eons of training that we've gone through, that we can transform this entire planet into one of the greatest celebrations the galaxy's ever known. That this is the great celebration our souls have been waiting for and have been preparing for, inviting all the realms across the cosmos to come here and play and celebrate and enjoy the magnificence of the earth itself, this blue jewel, that all the realms, all the races, all the species are invited to this grand party that we are witnessing starting. This is the start of the party. And the start of the party sometimes is a little awkward. Everyone comes in and you're kind of feeling each other out, but the party's just getting started, my friends.
We hear about, we've been having these encounters with other beings for such a long time, obviously centuries. And, everybody talks about the aliens are coming or they've been here and landings. And then what I vision in my mind is that there's this galactic flyer out there that says there's this great charged planet somewhere, and here's are the directions, and everybody's coming and they get there and like it's closed. Like, when's it going to open? It's supposed to be open. When it opens, it's going to be fantastic, man. It's got this and this. Everything that's going on here. And all these beings are like, well, what time is it going to open? And we're like, well, we're not sure. I think it might be 2020. And I think it might. And now they're like, Holy crap, the doors are open, and like you said,
the lines falling in.
the artist is showing up. Who's going to play music first? They're all trying to figure out the order of performers.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting their drinks and checking out the venue and getting ready. The first DJ's coming on.
Of course, the intoxication of your energy, your joyous energy of nothing but possibility. For the viewers, of course, you're getting to experience Aaron, and this is just partial throttle. I mean, you get into your own session with Aaron, you're at full throttle in this magic, and it cannot help but transform your perspective. This is what he does. Okay, and this is a natural. This isn't anything that you can train for. Okay, I mean, this is, in authentic beingness of who he is. Obviously, we're going to get into a far-reaching subject matter. Of course, that Aaron is not from this galaxy. He is, the literal gift of the God source to those of us who have found ourselves in such density. And to elevate us out of the density component of really ignorance of our own selves is part of who he is, and dedicating his existence, thankfully, in such a joyous component. So we're not bumming him out, in any way. For Aaron, for people to access this within their own selves, it's being poured out of them. They may not really know exactly what it is, may feel that because of the confusion, humans can have a tendency to immediately go into fear amidst confusion for themselves, rather than joyous curiosity amidst confusion for themselves. What are some of the things that you were talking about going to the heart space, which of course is a great practice. What else can they do to assist themselves through this time?
Well, one of my biggest friends here on Earth are the trees. And to me, they represent the closest physical symbol of what we actually are. That they have these roots and these branches that extend out in so many forms and dimensions. And so they symbolize to me the archetypal map of what our multidimensional nature really is. And yet humanity gets trapped into just being like, oh, I'm just this little trunk, but you're actually so much more. So I've been really inviting people to go out and sit next to a tree and not only connect with the tree, but let it reflect to you who you are. Let the tree show who you are. And in that connect root, like your nervous system is rooting down deep into the earth, deep into the grids within the earth, and your branches are now expanding high and out into the heavens. And feel that entirety. Just imagine, even if you need to stand there with your arms out and your feet down into the earth, and let that penetrate into you and let that expand you through your heart, but also through your whole being. And this allows you to stabilize more and more into who you truly are. So we're not so much moving through time, we're coming back into wholeness through time. Through the experience of time allows us to come back. And as we assimilate to that form, then we access all that power and that energy and that life force within us, and we're drawing it into the earth field, into the earth realm, into our experience here. And so whenever you find yourself starting to go off into the fear and stuff, just like, okay, here it is, let me just stop. This is an invitation for me to take a pause and just reestablish myself, reconnect, strengthen my connection to all that I am. And through that, you can allow those emotions to move through you, right? The trees, they've got all kinds of energy and chemicals moving up and down through the roots and the leaves and all of it all the time. So allow those emotions to just move through you instead of just overriding. You just let it move through you like a tree, and the tree just stands there present with all of it. It's present with the wind. It's present with the storm. It's just there. It moves with it and absorbs what it needs. So coming back, using that tree is a powerful model I found for a lot of people to just come back into their center and then draw forth everything they need to go into the world. And, taking the breaks from news and social media and stuff going on. And hopefully there's a tree, whether it's a little one or a big one somewhere nearby, or if not a plant, and just let that realm of nature will help ground you and connect you into your body and remind your body of what's possible. And the plants are wonderful reflections of that for us to reconnect just in our body and be.
Thank you for that, because that's extremely tangible and useful for everybody on a daily practice. The other thing that's pinging me and triggering me on the subject matter for some reason, well, I know the reason we're supposed to be talking about, human beings identify themselves through their fears and their limitations. It's amazing that when you encounter somebody, what some of the first things will come out of their mouth. Sometimes the first things that they transfer in who they are to somebody is maybe the illness that they have, the chronic condition that they have, the unfortunate situation that has recently happened to them. Divorce, I'm just newly divorced and I have cancer and blah, 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 blah. And humans have so identified with fear. Fear has been their power and their fuel, and they haven't realized how limiting that power is. To shift into the power of joy and unlimitedness is the answer. And I want to bring a point of relevance to everybody. For any of you who have children or grandchildren, if you've ever watched the movie Monsters, Inc., brilliant movie by Pixar, where the premise of the movie was that the fear of children in the third dimensional paradigm provided the energy resource needed in the dimension or the realm where the monsters live. So they would come into the children at night and frighten them, literally capture their dreams, their screams and their fear, and then that would convert to energy. And there's this moment in the movie where a little girl, instead of being afraid of the monster, finds exhilarating joy in the presence of this monster, and she blows the power grid apart with the power. And then, of course, that becomes the lead into how this whole world transforms itself in the end, where there's no fear of the monsters, which is just the unknown in our lives or what frightens us. And once we embrace that, we are unlimited in our potential energy resource. And I think that's part of what that is. For the people who are so reactive and terrified now, these may be the people who have previously identified themselves through their fears, and they're going to have the opportunity to know themselves through love and opportunity, and that is an exceptional opportunity.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And that's it. Like the fears, like the potential fears is definitely exaggerated right now, and the unknowns, the uncertainties. And then also want to speak to, there's a lot of, whether you want to call it conspiracy theories or different ideas, right? Who created this virus? Who's behind it? There's stuff with the 5G. So there's a lot of different fear factors being generated or surrounding this. And you can sink into those fears and let those run you, or you can love all of it as opportunities to create more joy and create more love and embrace, okay, maybe there is these negative things happening. Can I bring love to that and accept that as opportunities for me to grow in my own power? Oh, there's like maybe some more radioactive 5G stuff. Okay, let me just strengthen my own energy field so that stuff doesn't even phase me. It just runs right off me because I'm so solid and powerful in my own divine majesty that stuff doesn't do it. So using whatever that fear is, oh, I don't have enough money right now. I'm a bit unknown for my future monetarily. Sure, definitely happening for a lot of people. How can I use that to empower myself to make decisions, actions, creative solutions that I would have never been pushed to before because I was in that cage like we talked about, and bring that level of joy, transform that fear and that unknown into the joy and the radiance and the glory that is within you that can overcome any of these challenges. And that's the opportunity here. That's the invitation here, I think, for all of us. And then we blow the power grids, like in the movie, like oh, you're good. It's like the martial arts, right, master that knows, like, okay, this guy's bringing this punch at me. Let me just, instead of resist, let me just flow with it and allow it. And then boom, I can have that. Something just fell on my computer. I can, as a movement, I can just drop that guy on the ground. Like, it's just easy, just graceful, boom, done. Because I can accept and receive what's coming at me and then shift it And that's that level of mastering centeredness within your own divine magnificence and connectivity to life itself.
I think too, to encourage everybody, we are all divine embodiments. This isn't exclusivity we're talking about. We're talking about inclusion, okay?
No.
It's the previous state that we're coming out. This is the inclusion because this is where the transformational leaders, guides, coaches, teachers that have come to this realm in this lifetime very purposely to assist everybody in their unleashment, not to govern them and hold them down in a controlling and need component. So you've got all of this, around you. And the discovery of self is the most satisfying. I think it's the most satisfying experience that we can have. And when you are in the cage, you just can't discover. You don't know it until you're kicked out of the cage. Sometimes I rattle that cage to the bird. I'm like, get out, go.
That just flashed me back. This gosh, it was years ago into this. It was like an indoor festival basically at this hotel. There's music and vendors and all kinds of stuff going on, right? And it was at Friday night, and like some of the first bands came on. It was music I just loved, and everyone, right? It's like everyone's sitting on the edge. Nobody's ready to get up and be the first one to dance. And I was like, I have to dance this. And I just went up there and just went full on going for it. And that gave everyone permission, right, to come up and dance. The same thing, like, yes, the teachers here, the intuitives, the healers, the ones that have been working on this. And going back to the party thing, like, this is the biggest party. Like, if you're in the back kind of like, I don't know, like, come on, let's get out here on the dance floor. This is like the moment. This is the party we've all been waiting for. Don't miss this opportunity. Come out here and open up and dance with us, right, and play and create. So yeah, love it.
It's hammer time, right? It's hammer time. Yep. Brad, my husband Brad tells a story. We won't get into it overly, but on this property, many years ago, in a very, very confined, conservative community, our property and home and little farm lives far enough out of the community that people could come and escape, and I don't want to use the term behave badly, but they could, unleash themselves. And Brad said it would be days on end of this endless unleashment, okay? Of course, there's lots of alcohol and stuff involved too, but it was this release, it would all everybody finally had to crash just because their embodiments couldn't take it anymore. Right. And he will occasionally, we're talking, Aaron, 35, 40 years ago this stuff took place. And we will occasionally be traveling somewhere, and the most remarkable thing will come back. Somebody will come up and say, I think I know you from somewhere. Brad's like, yeah. And all of a sudden, where did you grow up? Well, I have this home in southern Utah. They're like, I went to college in southern Utah. There used to be this home that we went to, that we partied at. Brad's like, yeah, that was probably like, oh my God, and then what's funny is that, first of all, that they have that, there was such a profound shift for them in whatever way that they have memory of it, but they'll usually say to Brad, man, you got me through college, or, hey, and Brad's like, I didn't even know what's going on. I was just playing volleyball naked in the front yard like everybody else. But,
you say that.
But this is that time, and again, if you've ever felt in your life that you weren't invited to something spectacular that was going on, this is not that time. This isn't for the elite. This isn't for just the chosen. This is open invitation, and you can come with every component of yourself.
The more the merrier.
Accept it, right? And this is it. And again, that might be a little terrifying for people because they may not know who they are, but they're going to work their way through it, right?
Yeah. We got the tools here. We got the resources. The way, it's been built and is being built to support that. And like I said, the more the merrier. Everyone's invited. I love that. No matter where you're from, where you're at, what you've been through. what challenges you've had and what challenges you're experiencing right now. Like it's all bring it all to the table, bring it all to this altar. The ups and downs, the darkness and the light, like everything, bring it up. It's all welcome here, and it's all being embraced. And that's a big part of it too. I feel like the energy of the goddess and the feminine that's been disconnected from this world is coming back, and it's like the great mom that she welcomes. Yep, okay, you went made a mess in the sandbox, you got mud all over you, it's okay, like I still love you, right? Come on in here, just get it, let's clean you up and we'll make you a grilled cheese and let's have a good time, like it's the great mom is like welcoming back all of humanity and all that you are, all that you've been, all that you've done, right or wrong, like it's all coming in and to allow us to just be free and wild and play again, and the innocence and the purity of our souls.
The Earth ship is in some manner growing and expanding herself, but almost an internal, inside-out component, because we've often heard that possibly there's this utopia that exists inside the Earth ship with this, almost near perfect environment generated by crystals, high consciousness beings. Some people interrelate this to possibly different names of beings that they know are in there, and that the mantles could possibly be getting thinner so that this transformational energy is coming out. Yeah. Do you have connections and communication with the Earth ship her own self as to what she's going through, or provide that we are finally providing for her to be able to go through it this time?
Yeah, it's like it takes me back to like a mom giving birth. So it's like the mom just wants to be in her moment to herself, to focus and be with that energy. So it's like all the kids got to be calm right now and just stay home and let her do her thing right now and restore herself and recover and make the transformations that she needs to, so that she can actually bring more support for us. I mean, there's been so much support there, but now there's like a new level that's coming in available to us. And going back to tree, the more we can ground into that and connect with her, the more she can give us the life force, the energy our body needs to handle these higher velocities of spiritual dimensions coming in. So we are the Earth. We are embodiments. We are fractals of the Earth itself. So we're being invited to connect with that entirety as she's evolving. We're evolving, right? As she's transforming, we're transforming. It's a simultaneous interconnectivity grid, and it's such a beautiful thing because she's leveling up, and we are with her simultaneously because we are embodiments. We are components of the Earth. We have the rivers within us. We have the mountains within us. We have the lungs. The trees are within us. It's all connected. So she's expanding, and her other dimensions, like the inner grids, are coming online for humanity to reconnect with more than I've ever experienced before. They're more. It's like the seal's been taken off. Like, okay, the kids can handle this next level of power and energy. And so that's now available and becoming more and more available, and will continue to over these next months as that's sort of awakening and unveiling. It's kind of, again, it's like another gift. Like, okay, you kids are ready for, you've turned 13 now, you can get this new toy, right? You can handle it, right? So it's like, all right, she's opening up this next level gift for us to connect into, which allows us to draw on those energies from those inner Earth heavenly realms, those inner Earth paradises, and draw that into this experience, this level that we're all as humans playing on, and it's just unlocking.
I foresee in civilizations to come that history will write of this time, of this transformational period. The Mayan calendar catalogs, profound shifts of timelines, the golden ages, the silver ages, the bronze ages, that this time will be written of, and that we are in this time. No matter what your belief system is, though, and we may be those very beings that reincarnate ourselves back here, celebrating the birthing of ourselves back, to this period. And what an extraordinary time to be in what will be the most profound writing of an experience transformation period on the third dimensional paradigm, where the dimensions, finally got to dance together and intertwine. And I think the grids are shifting. I think the matrices are shifting. I think that I think that in many ways they have been very linear and almost seemingly separate, and now that feminine is curving everything into each other. The threads are being neatly sewn into place, and there's not going to be any more of that separation, component. And almost as if fractals are also shifting. The edges are going away, and there would be no defining between here or there, in or out, but just the existence of it all. And if we think about that, we love to have past life regression therapy done. And, was I in the Roman Empire? Was I in Atlantis? Was I in, and for people to go, man, I was in 2020 when the Earth moved itself, okay, and the world and the consciousness of the universal consciousness shifted itself. It's an honor. I'm so excited, to be here, and then, to dance with all of you. Of course, there at that timeline too. I don't know if we'll have beer at that time to drink. I don't drink anyway, but we'll do something, right?
I'll bring some mead, the honey wine.
Aaron, we'll have other conversations, and of course, for all of you, I'm going to plug this first and foremost, and then I'm going to let Aaron give you all of his connective origins and phone systems to get a hold of him. This program, of course, is airing on Xpnsion Network. That's Xpnsion Network. And we are platformed on your Roku devices, television devices, and Amazon Fire TV devices here in the U.S., as well as all the Facebook and the YouTube and the Vimeo. Aaron has his own ongoing show on that network. Please check out his programming. It is completely transformational, and get plugged into that so that you can get plugged into him. But he also offers extraordinary healing, transformational sessions, personal sessions, and so many other things. Aaron, tell everybody how to connect with you, please.
Yeah. The easiest way is through Aaron Michael Pyne. That's AARONMICHAELPYNE.com. So Aaron Michael Pyne with a Y.com. And you can go to my YouTube. I got some transformational stuff on there. I got sessions. I've got a light language activation course, and lots more I'm building actually right now, taking advantage of this beautiful time to build up some new great things. So yeah, go in there, Aaron Michael Pyne on Instagram and Facebook as well. And then, the TV show is Ceremony, Meditation, and Magic. And the latest episode, I think just went out, has the coronavirus systems upgrade activation meditation. So if you are, still feeling challenged with what's going on, that's a beautiful meditation to help your system get the upgrades it needs to be able to handle this. So definitely encourage people to go through that.
I don't watch a whole lot of programming. I watch Aaron's programming. I'm Aaron. He doesn't know that. I'm Aaron. Brad and I
I'm going to get some more shows
out then soon.
Yeah. I want to thank all of you for watching the show. I know you've got a smile on your face by this time. Please connect with Aaron. I cannot give you my personal stamp of approval. I've got to shove you into getting into his space. I promise we'll be bringing you more information with Aaron and interaction with Aaron on the other programs on the Xpnsion Network. And also to take the opportunity to have that private time with him. Aaron, any more parting words of wisdom for everybody?
Yeah, you're all invited to this party. No matter where you're at, what you feel, even if you feel like you're in the darkest place you've ever experienced, the invitation is right there, on your front doorstep waiting for you. You just have to simply open the door and receive it, and allow yourself the opportunity to receive this gift. And my personal guarantee that invitation is at everybody's doorstep waiting for them.
Thanks, Aaron, so much for being with us. Thanks to all of our viewers. Spread the word. Please like and share this program with your friends. Get everybody on board. Let's get on this wave of positivity and extraordinary times right now. Sending you all, of course, nothing but honor, love, blessings, expansion, and knowing and joy into your lives. We will see you next time. Thanks for being with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Oh, we gotta. Okay. And ground the systems. Mm-hmm. Is my camera on? Or?
Yours is good. There we are.
No, you're off.
I'm off. Okay, hold on.
No.
My camera went red. I thought maybe I was back on.
So overheat the system.
Hold on. I know I'm getting hot. I've been cold all morning and all day with all these interviews, and all of a sudden I get Aaron on the line, and I'm like, shit, damn it.
Shit. We're gonna have to reboot.
Okay, hold on. He's gonna reboot. He's gonna reboot, Aaron. So
I'm just gonna, Aaron, just stay on.
Yeah, just hang on. We'll get.
You
we'll
just
cut that
stay
out.
on your deal, and I'll shut it off on my end, and then we'll just pick it back up again. Okay?
So,
Okay.
so I'm gonna talk to Aaron here for a minute. So
Yeah.
this